Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to do a quick review and demonstration of the new RMK lip bases. I picked one up in both the moist and matte formulation. The name for it is literally just lip base moist and lip base matte. The most straightforward thing ever.
Two things, and I call them thing one and thing two.
This is a new item release that they just came out with this summer, but I do think that it's going to be permanent from here on out. I don't see any indication on the website that these are available in limited quantities only, so it seems like this will be available in the regular RMK lineup from here on out. So I've actually had my eyes on these for a while, or I should say I've had my eye on the matte formulation in particular. I actually have not had much or any experience really with lip bases as like a makeup product category, aside from, you know, obviously my chapstick that I use underneath my lipstick most of the time. I've never really ventured into the lip base arena just because it's like, I mean, let's be honest, it's a very extraneous, extra type of step that most people, unless you're completely obsessed with makeup or you're like involved in the makeup industry in some way, most people I don't think would go out of their way to buy a lip base. But for me, since I've really been enjoying the whole aesthetic of a matte lipstick finish these days, I was really intrigued when I heard that RMK was launching a lipstick base, especially in a matte formulation, because I was like, wait a minute, if there is a way to, you know, prime and moisturize my lips while also keeping at bay that really uncomfortable, dry, parched sensation that matte lipsticks often bring to the lipstick wearing experience, then I want in on this, right? So yeah, basically I initially went in only planning to pick up the matte lipstick base, but then the sales associate told me that if I spent above a certain amount of money, I could get a free summer gift. So I was like, okay, fine, just throw in the moist formula base as well. And I must say, they did have a pretty sizable gift as opposed to their usual sad little samples. I actually have it right here. It's like this nice fluffy face towel. I actually don't have a designated towel for my face only because I usually just wash my face when I'm in the shower, like with my hands. So this will be nice to have, I'm thinking, especially when I travel, which I do plan to travel later on this year if everything goes correctly. Fingers crossed. I have my first Pfizer vaccination scheduled for August 4th, which is one day before my birthday, so fingers crossed for that. And then it was not just the towel, I also got a cooling gel. Okay, well, I'm not gonna open this because that's not what this video is about, but this is their double cleansing gel as well as their Balance skin conditioner, and it's quite a sizable container of both. So I am pretty happy with my purchase overall. I am not particularly upset or anything about being upsold this time around. So the outside packaging for the lip bases actually matches the formulation inside, which I thought was pretty clever. As you can see here, the matte base has a matte silver finish while the moist base has a regular shiny glossy finish. So you can tell immediately at a glance which one you should be reaching for. Both of them are just in this really nice sheer light blue color. Once you swatch them on your hands or lips though, it turns completely clear and there's no color or pigmentation detectable. They also both have this really nice, fresh, light, almost florally scent. I'm not sure if that's rose or what, but it's really, really light and fresh. Even for those people who are really sensitive to fragrance in their cosmetics, I do feel like this is one of those scents that is just so light and so unassuming or unobtrusive that most people would not have a problem with it, and you can't really smell it anyway once it's dried and settled on your lips, so that's great. So I'm going to throw up application footage and swatches right now on the screen side by side of myself wearing various lipstick formulations by themselves as well as with the lip base on underneath. So let's just start off with the moist lipstick base because honestly this is the one that I have the least to say about. It's basically a glorified chapstick as far as I'm concerned, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It does its job beautifully. As you can see from the footage right here, it looks fine, it looks great, feels great, keeps my lips super hydrated and moisturized, which is obviously I think the most important factor for a moist lipstick base. So yeah, there you go. That's the moist version. Now let's move on to the matte lipstick swatches. So I wanted to see if there was a difference between how this would look under different types of matte lipstick formulas. Like if it's a liquid matte lipstick versus a traditional bullet form lipstick, how would this mesh with each of those formulas? So I ended up pairing this with 3 different matte lipstick formulas that I own and find myself wearing pretty often these days. The Mersey Blur Fit Lip Tint, the Shuamura Rouge Unlimited Matte formula in a solid classic bullet form, and then honestly, just for fun, I just wanted an excuse to swatch once again my Armani Lip Maestro matte liquid lipstick. So as you could probably see from the lipstick swatch comparison footage, the RMK Lip Base Matte did end up changing quite significantly, in my opinion, the final finish of all 3 of those matte lipstick formulas that I tried out. To varying degrees, of course. Like I think at the end of the day, the final outcome did depend significantly more on the formula of the actual lipstick that I used rather than the lip base. Like for example, I think the Mersey Blur Fit tint was the one that retained its matte qualities the most out of the 3, while the Shuamura Rouge Unlimited matte formula, to my great surprise actually, almost pretty much transformed into a moist lipstick with the RMK base on underneath. So I'm not sure like how to judge this lip base at the end of the day. I mean, I guess I do know. So for me personally, I didn't mind too much sacrificing a little bit of that true matte texture or finish for the benefits that come with wearing a lipstick base. You know, moisture, all-day hydration, plumpness of the lips, and of course just the very act of putting a protective barrier between your lips and what is usually a really dry, parching matte lipstick formula. No matter how moisturizing the company tries to tell you that their formula is, at the end of the day, a matte lipstick is a matte lipstick. It's supposed to look dry. The fact that I wanted to, you know, protect my lips as much as possible was my biggest impetus in the first place to buy a lip base specifically for my matte lipsticks. Because you guys know, or maybe you don't, but I'm like very, very paranoid for some reason about my lips in particular. I feel like they are aging 100 times more than the rest of my body for whatever reason. And it doesn't help that, like, for some reason, I think every single lip care product is a conspiracy theory to secretly age and wrinkle our lips up faster. Like, I watched this documentary once where they said that the chapstick companies actually secretly put tiny little microscopic shards of glass into chapsticks so that it will deliver micro cuts to your lips. Basically, it traps the customer into using more and more chapstick and having to develop this dependent relationship on chapstick, but at the same time, it's actually hurting your lips. So that's a conspiracy theory. There's no proof of this, but like I 100% believe it to be true, and I've extended this logic to lip scrubs and everything else in between. Clearly, this video is also just another piece of evidence of how paranoid and adamant, I guess you could say, I am about lip care. Oh yeah, and not to mention the removal process, which I feel like is always overlooked, but it's actually a very important part of the makeup process, particularly with matte lipsticks. Maybe not the bullet forms, but definitely a lot of liquid matte formulas that I've tried. The removal process is a whole painful, crusty journey on its own. So that's another thing that this matte lip base, I mean, it doesn't have to be this one by RMK in particular, but a matte lip base can alleviate for you. As you can see here, I'm removing my Armani Lip Maestro with the lip base on underneath, and it's just completely smooth and clean. There's no staining or clinging of the lipstick formula onto the lips whatsoever. precisely because of the lip base acting as that protective barrier. But then on the other hand, because you know, we do have to give both sides of the argument here, I do feel like something that is so specifically marketed towards being a base or a primer that is specifically formulated to make matte lipstick look good, I do have to say that it definitely underperforms on that front, because as you saw from the footage, I felt like all three matte lipstick formulas that I tried were very, very noticeably like more moist looking or shiny looking when applied on top of the base. So if I had to judge it on that criteria, then unfortunately no, I don't think it actually does that great of a job as it claims, because it basically turned my matte lipsticks into like moist or semi-shiny formulations, which defeats the whole purpose of having a matte lipstick base. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling at this point and I need to end this video. Obviously, there's only so much that you can expect from a product like a lipstick base, a clear lipstick base at that, a glorified chapstick at the end of the day. Like, what did I really go into this thinking that it was gonna do for me? Did I think it was gonna do my taxes or clean my apartment? No. So because of that reason, just the whole managing your expectations thing, I'm not gonna judge these too harshly. In fact, I personally really enjoy these and I'm really glad I got them. I'm definitely gonna be using them every single day before I put on lip color, even if it's just one of those bougie extraneous steps that nobody can really tell the difference anyway. It will make a difference to me because I can feel it. It will make a positive difference to me in my life because, like I said, the biggest thing that I was seeking was the comfortability factor that a lip base would provide me, especially on the days that I decide to wear matte lipstick. So I'm not here to tell you that this product is the best thing since sliced bread and that you should run out and purchase it immediately, nor am I going to tell you that it's a complete waste of money and it's totally useless. I think it's really one of those things that's just based on individual preference in terms of your whatever little idiosyncrasies that you have when it comes to makeup or your makeup routine. It kind of reminds me of that clear foundation thing that was released a while ago. I don't know if that was like last year or earlier this year maybe. I totally forget the company, but it was a Western company. It was literally like clear foundation or something, like no color foundation, and not no color as in it was gonna adjust to the color once you applied it to your face. This was actually marketed as just a clear foundation, like a gel pretty much, but they called it a foundation. I will put it up on the screen if I can find it. But it's kind of one of those things where, like, I remember some people getting really up in arms and upset about that product when they released it, and I can understand why people got angry, because I don't think that they were angry at the actual product. I think they were angry at the gimmick of it all, right? Because it seemed like this company was trying to play us all for a fool. But the thing is, like, you don't have to buy into anything that you know is not gonna be for you. So if you think it's like really dumb and gimmicky and cash grabby to come out with a clear foundation, then you don't have to purchase it, right? But on the flip side, there are people who purchased it. There are people who purchased it and tried it out and ended up actually liking it for what it was. Obviously, you can't judge it on the same criteria as like a traditional, regular colored foundation with however much amount of coverage, but if you make sure to judge the product based on what it's actually made for, so like in that case, I don't even know what it was, but poor blurring effect or something like that, then you can only judge it based on whatever specific thing it's claiming to improve. Managing expectations, you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so please let me know in the comments. I'm curious if any of you have tried out any lip bases, or do you even factor that into your makeup routine at all? Do you have any recommendations on lip bases from other brands? The only other one that I've heard, like, that is even on my radar that has decently good reviews is the one by MAC. I don't even know what it's called. And I don't know, is that one like a universal lipstick base? Like, can you use it for matte lipsticks, or does it work best with only shiny and moist formulas? But yeah, definitely let me know if you have your own experience or preferred products when it comes to the whole lip base game, because I'm actually really invested in making sure that my lips don't turn into what's that, lemon mouth anytime soon. So anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!